NAD and maybe explain to the listeners and me um, really what NAD is, why it is becoming so popular among people that are health enthusiasts, and what it does.
So NAD, I love NAD.
Yeah.
I take NAD actually 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Now I don't do the intravenous one because I don't have much time to do it.
Yeah.
When you do it intravenously, your typical dose, which is 500 milligrams, takes about 4 hours to do it. I do the subcutaneous injections where I inject it in my stomach with a very small needle, and I do 100 milligrams 2 to 3 times a week. And for me, I feel the same effect, right?
Okay.
NAD, it's classified as the brain reboot, right? Where basically it just fires up your brain. NAD is fantastic for cellular repair. It has a huge benefit to your overall health, especially when you're talking about health span and longevity. So NAD is one of those things where you're hearing everybody talk about it. You're hearing the celebrities talk about it. It's become mainstream at this point. So it's a fantastic IV drip that we offer. It's a fantastic intramuscular or IM injection. This is something that's going to boost energy. It's going to help with mental clarity, focus. It's going to make you what I tell people. It makes me sharp as a tack. I hear better, see better, I speak better. It's just like it's the true brain reboot, man. It's all the hedge fund guys were doing it early on, and there's a reason why they were doing it. They're just like fired up. And the best part about it, it's all natural nutrients that are doing it.
Yeah. And I've heard, I didn't real I knew it was a little longer treatment, when you're doing it intravenously, but I've also heard that you also just have to know, look, this is not gonna be the most comfortable, process while you're getting it, but, within an hour after you've completed the treatment, you start to feel amazing, but there is a little discomfort during the actual treatment. Is that correct? And that's dose dependent from what I've heard.
Yeah, so if it goes a little bit too quickly, and this is the reason why you have to drip it over 4 hours, right?
Gotcha.
If it drips a little bit too quickly and you get more of an aggressive dose at that immediate moment, you get a serious flush. Some people call it the feeling of impending doom. It's not attractive at all when
Yeah.
people say that, right? But if you do it with someone who knows what they're doing and can control the drip and the dosage that's going into you, you'll have no issue. You know,
So
but
it's
yeah, there
it's
could
people pushing
potentially be
too much too fast is what's problem is
right.
what's
You could
okay.
get that very flush feeling. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. Once you do it for a while and you get that feeling, you'll understand it and you'll actually know it's like, okay, well, that's NAD.
So if, asking for a friend here, if, if you're a 54-year-old male and you were looking for a combination of therapies that would make you feel more vitality, that would make you feel have more energy, feel refreshed, um, recover faster, because when you get to be 54, you don't recover quite as fast when you work out and whatnot. What would be those 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, whatever it is, things that you would say, look, there's a lot of stuff you can do, but if you really want to focus on these benefits you just mentioned, Roger, you really want to be taking these 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 things. What would those be?
Well, the first three that I'm going to mention are actually completely free, and they're probably the most important things that you have to focus on,
Okay.
right? Which is movement, so exercise,
Yep.
nutrition, what you're putting into your body, and then sleep, because that's where you recover.
Yeah.
So those three things are completely free. And listen, I talk to people from all walks of life, and the first thing, oh, the biohacking, the wellness, it's so expensive. Free. These three things.
Yeah.
Once you focus on it. Now, to add to that, to help with the recovery process, the next step, the number four thing that I would say is understand your body and understand your health data. How do you do that? There's certain wearables that you can wear throughout the day, right? I wear an Oura ring wherever I go. So it gives me my sleep data, and you can see it's lit up there, green, right? So the Oura ring gives you a lot of data. You can wear an Apple Watch. There's the Whoop. So it's always important to understand your body and how it's performing, so then you can correct those things based off of actual data of your health. Other data that you should get, you should do a body composition analysis. Most people, they get on a scale. Okay, a scale tells you total weight. What is your weight made up of? How much fat do you have out of that 150 pounds? How much lean mass do you have of that 150 pounds? How much of it is intracellular and extracellular water? So doing a body composition analysis with either like an in-body eVault or a DEXA scan is going to give you that data. Doing comprehensive blood work to see what type of nutrients you're deficient in, right? Looking at your blood work to see if you have any hormone deficiencies. Understand your body, understand your body's data. Then at that point, once we have all of that data from your body, then we could go ahead and make certain recommendations of supplements that you can take, peptides, hormone optimization, or anything else. Now, for most people, some of the typical things are we offer a magnitude of different nutrients or IV drips that most people can benefit from. We do have some kind of different peptide therapies, which help with the recovery process. A lot of our professional athletes take the peptide therapies. And then, obviously, there's other type of modalities like hormone optimization,
Mhm.
especially when you're talking about someone in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. What ends up happening by the time you reach age 30, every year past age 30, your hormones start to decrease about 2 to 3%.
Yep.
So, which there's not an issue with that, right? We can always age how our great grandparents did, but with today's technology, you can age in a more proficient way where you can still have vigor and vitality.
Yeah. Yeah. Better living through chemistry, man. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. And I just want to say, like, I just want to give you full credit right now. I asked a really open-ended question, and you could have very easily said, "Oh, well, make sure you jump on NAD, this and this, and we provide all that for you." Like, you didn't. You said, "Here's 3 free things." I just really respect the way you answered that. Here's 3 free things, and that's the benchmark of everything. Before I could even tell you, you need to get blood work, you need to get a scan. Like, I just really have a strong appreciation for the holistic approach of how you answered that question versus, well, take this, this, and this, like so many people will do, man. Props to
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate it.
I'm going to ask you about peptides because I have, there's a trainer, instructor that works at one of the rock boxes here locally. The guy is jacked to the nines, ex MMA fighter. And I'm asking, like, all right, there's no way that's 100% natural, brother, because like I know you, and you've put like 30 pounds of muscle on. And he said, he doesn't. He's like, no roids. He goes, but I am taking peptides, and then he named this peptide and like 2 letters and 5 numbers, and then this peptide 2 letters and 5. For the layperson, what exactly is a peptide, and what is it doing for him, and what it would do for us?
So peptides are an amino acid fragment,
Okay,
right? That basically signals in your body for it to do something in particular. So there's peptides for weight loss, there's peptides for hormone optimization, there's peptides for medical aesthetics, there's peptides for gut health. There's peptides for everything. Your body naturally produces over 7,000 peptides. So what we do through science is we have the ability to figure out what peptide your body needs for the specific effect that we're trying to accomplish. So a lot of people hear about these GLP-1 drugs.
mhm,
There's some brand names for them out there like
sure,
Ozempic and Wegovy and some of these other ones. That's a peptide. That's called a glucagon-like peptide. So that basically stimulates your body to lose weight through certain mechanisms. Now there are peptides that help you put on that lean mass, like the trainer guy that you were talking
yeah,
about. So there's peptides, oral peptides like MK677. There's peptides for growth hormone releasing peptides that help boost up your growth hormone levels, which will help you get a lot more lean and put on lean mass as well too. There's peptides like CJC epimorelin, the 1295, the CJC 1295, fantastic peptide. There's even a better one for growth hormone, which I use personally myself. It's called tesamorelin. It's an actual FDA approved peptide that's out there for certain indications. But that one's fantastic for weight loss and also putting on lean mass. And then there's other peptides also for like inflammation or injuries that you might have, like BPC 157. It's a peptide that we typically recommend everyone to get on for at least a few months, especially when you're starting your journey, your health and wellness journey. But yeah, there's a magnitude of different peptides. I don't recommend to get on so many peptides at once because if you do have some kind of Side effect, you want to be able to nail it down and figure out which peptide is causing that. So
Yep.
my recommendation is to start off with maybe 1 or 2 peptides. From there, see how it goes, and then add certain peptides throughout your journey.